Hi everybody, Psychic Erin Sears here. I am here today to give you a reading. We're just going to go put on here and see what Spirit has. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm just going to go really into this. Also, readings, they transcend through time and space. So there's like a billion people on this planet. So if this reading found you at this moment, this is exactly what you need. And that's down to like a quantum physics standpoint. But that being said, I'm going to go right into the reading. Let me know down below if it resonated with you, but let's see what's going on. Ooh, okay, look at you. Spirit is saying that there has been a change and transformation recently. It says you have gotten to the point where it is the end of some type of cycle that you have going on. It says you're getting rid of old energy and you're allowing new energy to come in. It feels like whatever happened that was like the ending, it kind of happened abruptly. It was almost like you were like, I'm done. I'm done dealing with this. I'm done going through this. And it just shows that you shifted your personality, your perspective and everything like that. And this is showing a birth of opportunities because of that. Spirit says that there has been a lot of times in your life where you have reached a period of instability, but you've always managed to really come out on top without becoming bitter. You came out unscathed, and you have a really good loving personality, but it's showing here that you really need stability. It's like you're craving that stability, and it just feels like you have been going through it and going through it, and it feels like sometimes when one thing happens, the other thing happens. But it seems like because of this recent shift of just deciding that you're no longer going to be putting up with anything, you're putting yourself first. The Spirit says that you are in your divine healing energy. It says that this is the abundance period you have been waiting for. It shows that this is leading to new beginnings, new opportunities, and the stability that you've been looking for. Oh, this is great. It shows here that it's a beautiful giving and receiving of energy. It almost feels like you just like snapped yourself into alignment. Like you're just like, I'm ready. I'm tired of living this life like this, and I just want to live a life full of fulfillment. It says you're tired of, doing even the 9 to 5 thing. I feel like there's opportunities. I feel like you're so ambitious. I think that you're just right on the cusp of seizing that moment and opportunity. Spirit shows that this big change is coming for you due to your tenacity and your determination. Spirit says that there may be moments when you're feeling like you're scatterbrained and that you're exhausted and that there's a lot of things going on. But it says overall, you've got this. It says that you have put yourself in a vulnerable place by just making this decision and this choice. But Spirit says that you're no longer in this self-doubt period. It says you're ready for this. And it says you'll go back and you'll piggyback through like certain things where you're feeling some type of way about, a little nervous, and then you go back to like, I'm ready for this. Spirit says that's absolutely normal, but Spirit says that you just feel very inspired. It says you're a visionary. It says you're also a natural born leader. It says you're meant for more than what you ever even have gotten in life. I feel like you have so much potential, and I think you've always known that even since you were younger. You knew that you had potential. You knew that you were meant for something bigger, and Spirit is saying here that it just seems like everything in life has come to this specific moment. Everything has clicked into place in order for you to reach this specific period that you've been waiting for. Spirit says we're showing a period of happy employment. And this doesn't necessarily have to be with like an employer or anything like that. It could just be that, you deciding to like break free of a specific environment and going after your dreams and goals. Spirit says that sometimes you've gone through periods where you're very lonely, that you're isolated, and even antisocial. But Spirit says they want you to know that there was nothing wrong with that there was a perfect period for you, for your self-reflection and introspect. It was great for you. It says because of that, it reached these really amazing periods of enlightenment, and it says that you're very smart. It seems like you're the type of person that somebody comes to ask for advice, and I think sometimes that you love being that person for people, but then at the same time, it's a big, big workload in order to take on a lot of other people's, stresses and responsibility, like hearing that and hearing other people's issues a lot. I think it's been difficult for you. And I think that you just want to hold space for people, but at the same time, Spirit is saying, it's okay to just step back and be like, you know what? I love you and I care about you, and I know you're in some type of situation, but right now I'm just in a really weird place, or not even a weird place. I'm just in a place of healing, and right now the energy's not good for me to hear about this. And you don't even have to say it in a mean way. It's just saying that Spirit is saying hold true to a little bit stronger boundaries and know that there's nothing wrong with you for choosing your peace over everything. Spirit says consistency again. Consistency, consistency, consistency across the board. It says we have a joy, a new love, or emotional awakening coming into your life. It says we're reaching that feeling of fulfillment. You're going through a period of personal growth. And it says you're very compassionate. It says you have all of this creative energy and you want to make all of this good stuff happen to you. But Spirit says you have to watch your words. You have to watch what energy you put out into the environment. And that means like watch what you say about yourself. So, or like how you phrase things. I feel like you have all this good stuff, but I think sometimes in a way we're self-sabotaging by saying things or thinking things in a way that's not super, you know, in alignment with you and your new future. So it's like things like, oh, like if you're doing something and all of a sudden you sit there and you're like, oh, I'm so dumb. Like, don't ever say that, baby, because you're not dumb, right? You're just going through a moment. You just had a moment, right? Or let's say something specifically, you know, you feel like there's no good people out there, and like, oh, there's no good men or women left. Like when you say the kind of things, it's when you're blocking that energy coming to you. So Spirit is saying that it's important for you to watch your words and your thoughts. And it says train your mind, but it says other than that, it says this is an eye-opening season for you. It says you're very cheerful and energetic. And it shows here that you've gotten to the point where you know how to protect your peace, to the point where you're not letting anybody come into your inner circle that has the threat of just hurting you. I feel like we've had a lot of emotional disappointments that led to a lot of clouded joy. And I feel like you just don't want somebody to come back into your life that's going to block your shine. And I feel like maybe we're in this in-between period where we're accepting this new part of our life while also realizing that life is changing at the same time. It says that you're just in a good place. It says we're reaching a period of fulfillment and harmony, and that to have faith within yourself. It says all of the things that you have been doing is leading into a new direction. It says you're going to be reaching a bout of creativity and inspiration. And even though it may feel like there's a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, Spirit says that everything that's given to you isn't anything that you can't handle. It says that you're tired of struggling, you're tired of feeling exhausted and losing your concentration over everything. I feel like because you haven't been sleeping very well, you're like, sometimes your brain's like slipping and you're like losing concentration on certain things, and it's playing a toll. And Spirit says you just need more peace within your life. And it says you decided that. That's what you're doing right now. You've decided that, hey, it's time for peace. Spirit says these deep wounds and the betrayal that you felt within the past aren't going to come back and haunt you. I feel like you're very much so overcoming an obstacle due to your strength and your bravery, and you should be really proud of yourself. Spirit says that it's important for you to communicate your wants and needs and to not be afraid to take a leap. It says there's opportunities coming, but I really feel like you need to seize the moment, okay? Seize the moment and know that you have the tenacity and the determination to make it happen for yourself, babe. Spirit is showing here that you're a very generous person, but it's also saying that you cannot build your house if you give everybody else your bricks. Because at the end of the day, you're going to look around, everybody's going to have a house erect all around them, and you have a pile of dust, not even a strong foundation, baby. So you got to make sure that you're doing for you and then do for others. That doesn't mean that you have to stop being this kind, wonderful, loving person like you are. It just means that it's important for you to focus on yourself first and put yourself first and not feel bad for doing that, because there's nothing wrong with wanting to take care of yourself. And I think if you're surrounded by people who make you feel like that's less than that, then they're not the right people to be around you. Okay, Spirit says it's okay to branch out. We're seeing new beginnings as well as career opportunities. This could be a career opportunity, an entrepreneurship opportunity, or even like a content creation opportunity. Spirit shows we're showing abundance, we're showing stability and security, and that's what it's leading to. I feel like you have all your life you've been waiting for something to happen and something to stick. And it says here that this is just that change that you're looking for. It says that you're really in your divine feminine, and if you're a male, just know that that doesn't mean like you're like a feminine energy. It's more of a feminine energy. It's like a healing energy, right? But it says this period is leading to wishes coming true and blessings. It says you're going to be, this is leading to a lot of achievements. This is the start of everything big. This reminds me of that song from High School Musical, the start of something new. But that's really how it feels. Spirit says it's okay to take rest and relaxation and put it top of the line. I think that your body is telling you that it needs to relax. It's telling you that it's time to rejuvenate. It's time to focus on you and just take time for yourself. It says that once this happens, it says you're going to be getting ideas flooded into you. It says we're reaching a turning point, a decisive point within your life, and a period of good fortune. It says overall, this is calling for you to look at things from a new perspective. It says this is your liberation period. It says you're very independent. And it says you're not going to have to sacrifice for this. It says you've already done your sacrifice younger in life. It says you're very kind. It says you're very diplomatic. And it also says that you give forgiveness when forgiveness is due. And it seems like all of these things that were learned based off of things in the past that you have gone through. And Spirit says that It says everything that you went through is what you needed to go through in order to reach to this specific point. It says this breakthrough is coming. It says you're moving forward into a new direction. The Spirit says now is the time to take action. Overall, it says it's important for you to know that you're making a sound decision. You're making yourself in great opportunities, and it says you're making a breakthrough. It also says justice will be served. We're seeing transitions and letting go of old energy and bringing in new energy and a period of relief. Trust your intuition and know that you've got this. This is a really good period for you. I hope this gave you some clarity. If you like these kind of readings or this kind of content, I also do manifestation content, but if you like this kind of content, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, because those help the channel and help me be able to bring more content to you. If this resonates with you, let me know below, and if you would like a reading, you can hit the link in the bio. I hope you have a great day.